Not all treasure is buried. Some of it's hiding right under our noses. At Golden Finds, we chase the forgotten, the vintage, the one-of-a-kinds, and bring them back to life. Every piece has a past. Here, it gets a second chance. Welcome to Golden Finds, where every find tells a story. Welcome everybody to another thrifting session here on Golden Finds. This is Daniel, your avid thrifter, and for all things thrifting here in Orange County, California, welcome. So we're heading into the thrift stores. Now there's only 2 stores that I visit during this walkthrough, so it's not the usual long video that many of you are used to. But I still, hope that you enjoy it. Of course, as always, if you're new to my channel and you love thrifting, I do hope that you hit that subscribe button, which is absolutely free to subscribe to the channel, and make sure that you all hit that like button before you exit today's video. As always, make sure to stay until the end to see if any of the goodies that you see in the walkthrough made it home with me. I absolutely love finding art pieces like this. $3.99 for this. I don't think that was bad for the price. I really love this type of artwork. It's very raw, it's very simple, but very detailed. Just look at how beautiful that was done. And I absolutely have been obsessed with thrifting like a bunch of artwork or just art frames in general. If you're on the hunt for some type of picture frame, look no further than a thrift store because you're going to find so many of them, so many sizes, so many different colors, so many options for you to choose from. And you're going to save, money in the end instead of buying any new ones. And today's shout out goes out to Michelle Gunther 3250. Michelle, thank you so much for your comment. I truly, truly appreciate your support and your love for the channel. I am really happy that you enjoyed those goodies that I thrifted. They were just awesome. I really fell in love with those deer and pieces with the Santa sleigh. Those were really awesome. I love them. But thank you so much for commenting and for being such a wonderful supporter of my channel. Here we have a few interesting pieces. This really caught my eye. It was like some type of terracotta picture for $4.99. It was absolutely beautiful. Then these were super cool and unique. These would be so cool for a sports fan's room. These bookends, $4.99 each. Then there were these ceramic pieces, an apple and a pear. It's kind of giving off like a vintage look to them. But I don't think they were vintage. They definitely look like they were more newer, like in the 2000s era. These were so large. I couldn't believe these Mikasa Terrastone mugs, and then they came with the saucer. This thing was absolutely ginormous. They were super fun though to see. Then this is a queen bee. That's the name of the doll. It's a porcelain doll by Marie Osmond. $7.99. Look at how adorable this is. If you have a bee theme that you do each year for spring decor, this would have been so adorable in your setup. Now, I think this was a vintage converter kit, so this is meant for international travel. It was $5.99, so this is what you use to hook up your electronics when you go out of the country internationally. They have different outlets, and these are converters to be able to fit into wherever you're traveling to. So they were unique, but I do think that they were vintage. Then I saw these beautiful dolls. These are Native American dolls by Hamilton. They were priced at $12.99. Now, while visiting the store, I did get to see my wonderful friends Janice and Sharon, and shout out to them for letting me know that there were so many of these Madame Alexander dolls. This one was Sweden, so these are all dolls that represent different countries, and they were priced a little bit pricey, but that is expected with these type of dolls that are very, very collectible. And they were absolutely very detailed. This one was $14.99, and it was very beautifully styled. It looks like they're made out of great material. So definitely, if you're a collector of dolls, those definitely would have been perfect. Now, I think this might have been a Thomas Kincaid piece from Teleflora. It's like a light up village piece. It was very nice. These are very familiar because I have a ton of these that I have actually thrifted and also found at estate sales. Found some Pier 1 candles, little tea lights. Then this right here, I have a little oopsie. I didn't realize that the piece actually came off, that it's supposed to be a little like jar or canister. But I think this might be a hobbyist piece at $4.99. It was still really, really nice. There was another Madame Alexander doll. This one is from Spain. So there was a bunch of these. Someone definitely donated their entire collection. You're going to see right now next to this one, there was another one, and that's from Russia. So these were all so detailed. I absolutely loved everything from the clothing that they had to the porcelain faces. They were just beautiful dolls, and they definitely were very collectible. Now, these figures right here were quite interesting. They are Isabel Bloom concrete figures. So these are concrete sculptures of animals and children. And that is what Isabel Bloom was known for. She was an artist from Iowa. So it felt like it was someone's entire collection. And some of her pieces do sell for a high price. So those were super cool to see. I'm not quite sure what would have been inside of this, but it says that it's a goat dairy farm. So wherever it came from a goat dairy farm, and it's like this container, metal container, 2.99. It definitely is like those milk metal containers that, the farm uses to store milk, but I don't know what was actually in the inside of it, but it would have been a really cool decorative piece. This caught my eye, 4.99. I've really been into the gold and silver a lot lately. I've really like looking at it. It's just, it gives you a little bit of glam if you have a little bit in your home. And this is where I am taking my time just looking through all the knickknack section. You all know that's absolutely one of my most favorite places to take my time and really browse through everything. And let's see, what else did we find? There's a lot of several things here. This little house really stood out for me. I don't know if this might be some type of garden piece or maybe it's like a fairy village piece. You know how people make fairy gardens during spring and summer. Or it could just be a decorative piece, maybe for Christmas. I'm not quite sure, but it was very nice. It was very detailed. This sun catcher for $2.99 was also very beautiful. Love the vibrant colors on that. This cherub I thought would pair very well with the other one that I have thrifted that I decorated during the St. Valentine's Day season. And this one was also made out of really great quality. This doll I have shared with you all. It looks like they snuck her over to the knickknack section under here. Then this right away I knew what it was. It is a Hearth in Hand with Magnolia coffee pot. And this is originally from Target. So it is a Target piece. It was originally $19.99. What do you think that this clam shell was used for? So it looks like it has a clasp that you have to hold it back to open it. Not quite sure what would have been in here. It was $3.99. It could have been maybe a gift set or maybe some type of container for something. This bust was actually very lightweight plastic. I think this was a 3D printed piece. That was $3.99. Here's a little bit of Ray Done Grateful for $2.99. Found this Christmas Marvelous Mug series by Potpourri Press, 1987. Loved all the little bears on the front. That's very nostalgic. I feel like a lot of things from the 80s were centered around bears. That's what I've noticed when finding a lot of Christmas decor from the 80s is that a lot of the things that came out were themed out to bears. Did you see that vintage TJ Maxx tag? Oh my gosh, what a throwback. And then these candlestick holders were $4.99. I don't think these were bad for the price. What do you guys think? At $4.99 each, I think that they were well worth it and they definitely were of a vintage style. Found these made in Mexico pottery mini plates. They were priced each for $2.99, but I do wish that they would have sold this instead as a bulk piece. You know, everything just together would have made more sense instead of charging them individually. And now we're heading into the last Goodwill. I met up with someone here and decided, let's go ahead and see what we find today. Now, I normally only thrift exclusively on the weekends on Saturdays, so it was a treat coming out during the weekday to see what we could find. I'm sure it's 5 o'clock somewhere. This is a Pier 1 Imports picture, and it says it's a margarita kind of day, and it was originally $29.99. Someone must have donated their entire collection of Bath and Body Works candles. I found several, like this one right here, that was still brand new, actually, this 3-wick candle. Then I found this one that's a vampire blood, $5.99. I believe these are all scents that came out last year for Halloween. This one was used. I really love the metal lid on them. They were really decorated, really nice. This one was Paris Cafe. This one smelled terrible. Let me just tell you that. Now, this one was a Kirkland's candle, and this was Citrus Burst. This one smelled way better, but that one, the Paris one, was just awful. This caught my eye. Baby's First Easter for only $1.49. It's like an ornament hanger with a picture that you can place in the inside. I don't have any babies, but that definitely would have been something that I would have picked up if I had children. This whipped coffee, $4.99. It was terrible as well, you guys. It smelled so bad. Oh my gosh. But yeah, these candles were not the business. Paris Cafe did not smell good, and neither did the whipped one. They just were not really good. This little plate right here that's supposed to be like a little mushroom, and I think it's supposed to be like some type of trinket tray or something like that. It was $2.99. This made me automatically think of my friend Brittany from Brittany's Beautiful Chaos. Hey, friend. And looking into the rest of the knickknack section, let's see what we find. I'm telling you, I found like so many Bath and Body Works candles. This looks like it's a little crock right here. It was $3.99. Those are also really nice to use if you want to put like fake plants in them as well. Found this other one. Now this one was also brand new. This is fall apple cider for $5.99. Then I found this 1-wick candle of the sugared snickerdoodle, and that one also was brand new for $4.99. These are candle holders, and they spell out joy. Each was individually priced, and it's a bunch of angels playing musical instruments. Now, this was a Coca-Cola wall art piece for $1.99. It's like a little decor accent. It did look like it was vintage. The design is vintage, but I'm not quite sure if the entire piece was actually vintage or if it was something, vintage inspired and it came out maybe in the 80s. Not quite sure, but it was still a really nice decorative piece. This was interesting. This is a koi fish vase from Benihana. And it's so unique, right? Like, this is something that I feel is just one of those items that when you come across thrifting, you're like, this is so cool and so unique. That's what I love about thrifting is that you're going to find some really unexpected items. Again, you go in with no expectation of what you're going to find. And sometimes you really do come across some interesting and fun things. Now, I was trying so hard to open this trinket box. So it is a trinket box. And look, it's secured by removing this piece right here. And then you open it and it is in the shape of cats. This is really nice for $3.99. I'm pretty sure somebody would have absolutely adored this. Now, I definitely adore a good Christmas find, you guys. These are vintage Christmas glass ornaments, which ornaments, especially vintage, are getting so hard to come across when thrifting. So these absolutely made me so excited. I was jumping for joy. All of them were in really great shape. None of them were broken. Then this is an abstract sculpture piece by Jart, and it was $9.99. I don't know if this is an exact replica or if it was some type of inspirational piece of Jart or how authentic it was, but the real piece is actually quite expensive. Now, I say that this might be one of my regrets. This is a vintage milk glass tobacco jar. Now, I don't have anything that goes with this style. I don't have anything in this light blue or that it's sea or ocean theme. So I kind of thought about it thinking, where could I utilize this item? I really don't have anything that will go with it, but I decided to ultimately leave it behind. But I'm pretty sure it would have been a cool decorative piece to use somewhere or for someone who has a ocean theme. That would have been a great accessory. Probably something that I could have resold if I wanted to, but I decided not to. Sometimes it can be a little bit of a hassle. This was super cute. I think this might be someone's hobbyist piece. This is a Santa planter. It was in really great shape. It was $3.99. And last but not least, you're going to see a few images of what's left. We have this bone china cabbage serving bowl set. These were super nice. I really fell in love with the speckled look. And then to end the walkthrough, I am now browsing at various vinyl records, trying to see if I could find any to bring back home. This is another addiction that I have now when I'm thrifting, is browsing all of these records to see if I find something to bring back home. The end of the walkthrough is reaching. I do hope that you enjoyed it, but make sure to stay until the end to see the complete walkthrough. Welcome to the haul portion. I know you guys, this is a super short video. I used to always reference these as the quick thrift haul sessions, just because it's super fast. It was only 2 stores. It was a day where I was meeting up with some wonderful friends that are actually here from the YouTube space, and I was meeting with them at those Goodwill stores. So I figured, you know what, I'm already here. Let's go ahead and see what we find. It was during the weekday, which A lot of you know that I only thrift exclusively on Saturdays. But again, since I was meeting them at those two stores, I decided, let's pop in. You just never know. I hardly ever go during the weekday. So I'm like, let's see if we find something cool, right? You just never know with the game of thrifting. Any day is a day you could find something amazing. But there are 3 goodies that made it home with me from this short thrift session, and I couldn't be more excited for them. So the very first one was the Bath and Body Works candles. So I did grab this one. There was a few of them, as you saw in the walkthrough, but this was the only one that really spoke out to me. And it is the Bath and Body Works Fall Apple Cider. And it's amazing. $5.99. It's brand new, completely brand new. Never been used. It smells so good, you guys. It was $5.99 again. And crisp red apple and something else. I can't read the fragrance notes, but it definitely gives off a fall vibe. So that is what I have. I have a lot of Bath and Body Works candles. I keep telling myself not to keep buying more because I have a whole hall closet full of them. And I don't know why I keep buying more, but I just cannot escape a good deal if I find something like this at the Goodwill, especially if it's brand new. And you have all seen that I always find them in different pricing. I always find them like either $5.99, $6.99, $7.99. Some of them can be super pricey, but I just couldn't help myself. This is just something else that I also like collecting or finding at the thrift store, is the Bath and Body Works candles, if I find them for a good deal. Now the other item that made it home with me was the cherub. So this piece was absolutely perfect. Right away when I saw it, I'm like, this is going to be perfect to add for Valentine's Day for next year. Many of you were here to see how I decorated my Valentine's Day hutch and when I hauled that other cherub that I found. Now this is different material. The other one is made out of like soft, I think it was like soft cardboard material, and this is actual like plastic. It's like a plastic mold. So this one is definitely more finer in the details of the cherub, like everything from the face, the body, the wings, the instrument, just everything is a lot more detailed on this one. The other one that I've had that I also thrifted is more soft. It's like you can't see all of the full details of everything. You can kind of tell that it's made out of some type of cardboard material or soft material. But this one again is a plastic molded one. It was $4.99. And I love that it's actually doing something different. Like the other angel is doing something different. This one's doing something different as well. And I just thought this is perfect. It's already in the same color. Both of them are in a gold shade. And these are just going to be so perfect together once I decorate with them again next year. I could also pull them out if I decided to do them for Christmas. I could also see myself using them. So they're very versatile. So I think that this was actually a really great price considering that it's really detailed. It looks like it used to be hung. It's kind of heavy, I will say that, but it's so perfect. And I was really excited. I love finding pieces that kind of make a set, even though they weren't meant to be together because they're not the same maker, they're not the same brand, they're not the same material. You can definitely do that. When it comes to thrifting, you can group things together and make it your own collection. Last but not least, was there any doubt? I'm pretty sure all of you were like, those are a given. He's gonna take them. I did pick up the vintage Christmas ornaments made out of glass. So these are by the brand of Pyramid Decorative Ornaments. This is kind of already falling apart. As expected, you know, this is a vintage item. The glue is not going to hold forever on this. And it was only $1.99, you guys. $1.99 for these set of ornaments. I was ecstatic. And you know what? When you find a good thrift item, you have the right to be super over the top, be super excited, annoy your friends, your family, your loved ones, your pets. I don't know who you talk to, but scream about it. Be happy, jump for joy, because those are things, you know, that are like amazing. When you find something that is super cool that you love, and especially if you find it at a really good price and it's a vintage, you know, everything is better, right? Express it, yell, the top of the wind, whatever. How excited you are when you find something awesome. That is how I felt when I found these, you guys. Now, of course, I was very reserved. I didn't scream in the store. You know, you don't want to be looked at like a weirdo, right? But inside you're screaming, or inside your head you're thinking, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh, oh my gosh. It's amazing. So that's exactly how I felt with these. Now, I'm going to share each and every single one of them because it's super difficult to lift them up without them cascading and falling over. So this is one of them. Very pretty, you guys. These are definitely vintage, and it's getting a lot harder finding vintage ornaments at the thrift store. You could find them like at antique stores, but we all know the pricing of how much that will be. And then the toppers are really, really aged. You can see this one's so pretty. These are so cool. These vintage little ornament balls. These are glass, so you have to be very, very careful. I really love the inside of this. Then the other one, this one's almost like clear. And I can't tell if it's because the glass, I think the color is almost fading away. You can kind of see the glass too. There's two tones, right? This is like clear, see-through, and then this one is the only bit of color left on that one. But look at how pretty these are. And vintage ornaments like this, again, are super hard to find now at the thrift store. This one is a little bit damaged. You can see right there, it's kind of broken. But I mean, this is pretty. It's gonna last. You just have to be very, very careful. This one's probably my most favorite one. Let me know in the comments if you remember growing up with these, or if you still have these, if, you know, they were passed down from your family or your grandparents or family members, whoever, if you still have them, or if you remember growing up with them, because again, these are just super nostalgic. Vintage Christmas is always in such a high demand. People always are looking for vintage Christmas all year round. This is my other second favorite one because I really like these teardrop shape ones. They're super pretty. This one's a red and blue on the back. And then look at the inside. These are gorgeous, right? Oh my gosh, you guys, that's the last one. I was just so excited. I don't know if they're actually from the original box because they move a lot in there, so they're not really secured. So I don't know if whoever owned them, you know, just use that box to keep them. I mean, it doesn't matter to me. I absolutely love them. I adore them. I'm just so happy and ecstatic. I, again, cannot contain myself. Sorry, my allergies are acting up. I can contain myself, but my allergies are acting up. They always act up right now during the spring, heading into summer transition, which I dislike. I don't like the summer, you guys. I don't like the heat. But I'm super happy. I'm super happy with my items. You guys have to let me know, although this was a short thrift session, was there anything in the walkthrough that totally called out to you? Let me know in the comments down below, or what from the haul did you like? And don't worry, my videos, I know you guys are used to seeing them be a lot longer than this, but again, this was just a quick thrift trip. I figured, you know what, I'm already here. Let me pick up the camera. I use my phone to film, so it's always with me, and let me see what we find. And I wanted to share with you, you know, no thrift session is too short. You know, whether you spend a few minutes, if you go and pop into a store just for like a half an hour or 15 minutes, you could even find something spending at a thrift store, maybe even 10 minutes or so. You just never know. That is the fun part about going to the thrift store, is walking in with no expectation. Yeah, you can go in to see if there's something that you're looking for. You know, you have something in your mind that you're like, okay, let's go see if we can find a basket or something like that. But the best thrift trips are going when you don't expect to find anything, or you don't have anything in mind that you're looking for, and wham, you're hit with something amazing. It's just so fun. And I hope that you're all doing that. I hope you've all had the chance to go to a thrift store if you're watching me and you've had the chance to just experience it for yourself, because it's super fun. But that is the end of today's walkthrough and thrift haul. So thank you so much for tuning in, and I will see you on our next video. Thank you so much to each and every one of you for being so supportive and so loving. But make sure that you're also out there on your own watching for what golden finds you can come across in your own thrift store and thrift the unexpected. I will see you guys on our next one. Bye!